What's going on, everybody? Super796 here, and welcome to another tier list video. If you guys don't know what's going on, a while back I did the most accurate Pokemon typing tier list, and I've slowly but surely been going through my least favorite to my most favorite typings, and today I bring you the most accurate fairy type Pokemon tier list. If you're new to the tier list series as a whole, the tiers go as such. It goes goated, stupid good, okay, meh, and trash. And if you're wondering why this little thing down here is called not fairy, what the fuck? That's because Arceus and Savali are not fairy type on their own. You have to give them an item to make them fairy types. If you want to know where these wound up on my tier list, be sure to check out my normal type Pokemon tier list. The playlist to all my other tier list videos will be in the description down below. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Clefairy. Clefairy is an okay Pokemon. Clefairy is okay. Decent stats. Hits pretty hard. The thing I've noticed about doing this tier list series is that there's a lot of Pokemon you don't get for that specific Pokemon. You get them for their evolved form. So for example, you don't get Magikarp because of Magikarp. You get Magikarp because of Gyarados. So in this case, you don't really get Clefairy for Clefairy, you get Clefairy for Clefable. Clefable is stupid good. Clefable is a really good fairy type. Psychic fairy, I believe. Stupidly bulky, lots of HP, hits like a goddamn truck. You get Moonblast, you get Calm Mind, you get Dazzling Gleam, you get Psychic. Gets a whole array of moves. And you also can get stuff like Thunderbolt, you get stuff like Water Pulse. It's a good Pokemon, I really like it. Jigglypuff is meh. Jigglypuff's meh, pure fairy. Its base stats aren't quite there. The best thing that Jigglypuff can do is put Pokemon to sleep, and that's about it. But you don't really get Jigglypuff for Jigglypuff. You get Jigglypuff for Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is okay. Wigglytuff's an okay Pokemon. Pure's fairy still. Much bulkier than Jigglypuff. But it gets a better move pool, but its stats aren't quite up there to warrant getting Wigglytuff or Clefable. I would much rather have a Clefable. But Wigglytuff, you know, it's not a bad choice. It's not the best choice, but it's not a bad choice. Galarian Ponyta is okay. Galarian Ponyta is okay. Psychic Fairy. Physically, we don't get a lot of physical fairy type Pokemon that, you know, hit hard. Usually if they're physical and fairy, you don't really put fairy type moves on them, you put other stuff on them. But Ponyta is one of the exceptions. Decent stats, decent move pool, but you don't really get Ponyta for Ponyta, you get Ponyta for Rapidash. Galarian Rapidash is also stupid good. I really like Galarian Rapidash. I used it in my first Pokemon Shield Let's Play. I had Jorun, I had Smart Strike, I had Psy-Cut, I think it was, the physical second type move. And I had Play Rough on it, the physical fairy type move. Hits like a goddamn truck, super fast, really good fairy type. I really like it. Cleffa, I'll be real with you, is trash. Cleffa does not need to exist. I know why they made it to exist, because it was Gen 2. They needed a reason for you to use the breeding mechanics, and they made a bunch of baby Pokemon. But it didn't really need to be a thing. Cleffa did not need to be a thing. Cleffa, its stats are dog shit. Learn pool is dog shit. It's just not a good Pokemon. Igglybuff is the same damn boat. Igglybuff did not need to be a thing. Literally, everything I just said about Cleffa, you can say about Igglybuff, and its stats are even worse. So, there's that. That's all I gotta say about Igglybuff. Togepi, I'm gonna be real, it's kinda meh. Togepi's meh. The only reason Togepi is meh and not trash is because Metronome can either get you out of a bind or put you in a really big one. It's literally like a coin flip if it's gonna help you or not. So it's fun at the very least. Metronome is a fun move to use, but not the most useful. And you don't really get Togepi for Togepi. You get Togepi for Togekiss. Togetic, I'm gonna say is okay. Togetic's okay. Fairy Flying. The original fully evolved evolution of Togepi. Fun fact, I thought Togepi didn't get Togetic until Gen 4 because that's when Misty's Togepi evolved. But apparently it was Gen 2. So it's a decent move pool, you know. If it were the only thing that Togepi evolved into, it would honestly be in meh. But you put an Eevee on this thing, can at least take a few hits, can deal some damage, but still, you don't get Togetic for Togetic. You get Togetic for Togekiss. Meryl is okay. Meryl's an okay Pokemon. Water Fairy, pretty bulky. Gets access to, you know, you get Water Pulse, you get Surf, you get Hydro Pump, all that good stuff. But you don't really get Meryl from Meryl. You get Meryl for Azumarill. Azumarill is stupid good. I really like Azumarill. Water Fairy still. Gets access to Dazzling Gleam. Gets access to Bounce. You can make it get Water Pulse, Hydro Pump, Surf. You can run Physical, you can run Special, you can run more Bulk. Very diverse, very good Pokemon. I really like Azumarill. Snubbull is meh. Snubble's meh. I never really cared for Snubbull. Normal fairy, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's actually pure fairy now I'm thinking about it. You get Bite. You get, what's that move called? It's like, Crybaby Tea or something like that. Doesn't really get much in the fairy department, but you only get Snubbull for Snubbull. You get Snubbull for Granbull. Granbull is also okay. Granbull's also okay. Pure fairy, I believe. You get Crunch. You get Play Rough. You get, Takedown. It's an okay Pokemon. Not my first choice by any means, but it is an okay choice. You can do better, but you can do worse than Granbull. You know what I mean? Ralts, I hate to say, is trash. Ralts is trash as a Pokemon. Really only gets Teleport, pain in the ass to evolve, but you don't really get Ralts for Ralts. You get Ralts for Gardevoir. Kirlia, I'm gonna say is okay. Kirlia is okay. You get Confusion at this point. You get Double Team. And if you really want, you can make this thing never evolve and get access to Psychic and Calm Mind and all this other stuff. But still, you don't really get Kirlia for Kirlia. You get Kirlia for Gardevoir. Gardevoir is goated. One of the best fairy types of all time. You get Dazzling Gleam. You get Moonbeam. You get Psychic. You get Calm Mind. You get Focus Blast. So many powerful moves this one Pokemon can learn. It's insane. Mega Gardevoir is that and then some. And it has Pixelate. So you get Hyper Voice. And it makes fairy type Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice is base power 90 and always hits. It's a sound type move. Sound based moves always hit. It's insane. This thing is so goddamn strong. It's an OU for a reason. It's such a good Pokemon. Azurill is trash. And I don't know why they didn't make it Water Fairy. It's normal fairy. It's not water yet. I don't know why it's normal and not water. I don't know why they made it look so sad. For the longest time, I don't think it stopped looking sad until Gen 6. I don't know why they made this thing look so sad. I don't know. It's trash. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. Mawile is, I'm gonna say okay. Mawile is okay. Steel Fairy gets rid of that steel weakness that Fairy has. Gets rid of that poison weakness that Fairy has. Doesn't help with fire, but you know it's a decent type. It's a decent Pokemon you can scoop up on your team. I'd get it. Mega Mawile, I'm gonna say stupid good. I really like Mega Mawile. Hits super hard. Literally any move I said for Mawile, you can add to this. It's a Mega. What do you want? Megas are stupidly awesome. Togekiss, I just noticed it's the only Gen 4 Fairy type. Togekiss is goated. Fairy flying, hits like a goddamn truck, a shit ton of HP, super bulky. It's not dying. It takes out anything in its wake. Gets access to Aerial Ace, gets access to Dazzling Gleam, gets access to Hurricane, gets access to Tail. It's an insanely good Pokemon, insanely good. Floette, the colors don't really represent anything. Literally, it's just for aesthetic purposes. So wherever I put them, I'm gonna put them in no particular order. They're meh. Floette is meh. But yeah, it's doesn't get a whole lot. It's pure fairy first off, but you get access to Pixie Dust, I believe the move is called. You get access to Vine Whip, and that's about it. That's about all the things that this thing gets that makes it to do damage, to make it useful. So it's in meh. Flabébé, hey. Flabébé, hey. Flabébé, hey. It's also meh. Flabébé is also meh. Again, colors don't make a difference. No particular order. Flabébé is just meh. Gets access to a few better moves. I believe it gets access to Aromatherapy. I believe at this point you can get Calm Mind on it, but its stats aren't there. Its move pool isn't there. Just and we really missed out by not getting Az's Flabébé. We really missed out on that. I don't know why we couldn't get it. And here in the States, they got it in Japan. We didn't get it here. But you don't really get Flabébé for Flabébé. You get Flabébé for Aramosa. Florges. Florges is a sleeper stupid good mon. Again, color doesn't make any difference. It is no particular order. But Florges is a sleeper agent for stupid good. I used to Florges. I don't know why they didn't make it Grass Fairy. I don't know why they didn't do that. It literally, it's a bouquet of flowers. Why wouldn't you make it grass fairy. But it's pure fairy. Hits pretty hard, not gonna lie. Gets a pretty decent move pool. Kind of nutty, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Our Florges is pretty nutty. Spritzy, I'm gonna say is okay because you know it gets access to basically every starter fairy type. Like this was the poster child for fairy types other than Sylveon when Gen 6 came out. This literally was a pixie. This was a fairy. That's what this thing's goal was. It was like, hey, we got fairy types. Here's a literal damn fairy. So they had to give it all the fairy type moves. But you don't really get Spritzy for Spritzy. You get Spritzy for Aromatisse. Aromatisse is stupid good. Like, it's insane how good this Pokemon is. Stupidly bulky, hits crazy hard, gets access to Calm Mind, gets access to Dazzling Gleam, Moonbeam. It's crazy. Like, this thing hits like a goddamn truck. It's nutty. Swirlix, I'm putting meh. Swirlix is in meh. Swirlix, pure fairy. Not much I can say about this Pokemon. I don't really know much about Swirlix, to be honest with you. Its evolution I know a little bit of, but Swirlix I don't really know much of. I feel like, nobody ever talks about Swirlix, so I'm just gonna put it in meh. I'm be real with you, Chief. Slurpuff, I'm also gonna put in meh. I know about Slurpuff other than Swirlix. Slurpuff, I'm be real with you. Its fairy type moves are lacking. It gets access to Draining Kiss. And what is that move? It's not Moonbeam. It's Dazzling Gleam. That's it. Those are the only two offensive fairy type moves it gets. Everything else is like it gets a Sticky Web. You can run it special or physically offensive. It's more bulky than anything, but it's a 5-point difference. It's just meh, honestly. It's meant for bulk. It's not meant to hit hard, and the fairy type moves that it does get, it only gets one really good one. So it's a diverse attacker, if anything, but it's just kind of meh. I like it, but it's just meh. Sylveon's goated. Hands down, Sylveon's goated. Sylveon, one of the best evolutions. Super bulky, hits like a truck, won't fucking die. Fairy type takes life. Calm Mind, Moonbeam, Sylveon takes lives. Nothing is surviving that. If it doesn't resist fairy, it's going to die. That's the end of the story. Dedenne, is meh. Dedenne is meh. Electric Fairy, this generation's Pikachu clone. Doesn't really hit hard. Its main thing is just it uses Nuzzle to paralyze your opponent, and then spam Dancing Gleam once this motherfucker gets to like level 60 or some shit. That's literally what it does. It doesn't get any worthwhile electric type moves other than Thunderbolt, I think. Its stats aren't great. It's not a bad Pokemon. Like, if you want something different, Dedenne is here. But it's just, that's all it is. It's just here. Carbink, I think, is trash. Carbink is trash. Rock Fairy should have been able to breed Diancie to get it like you could Manaphy, but we didn't. I think the story is that Diancie's a mutated Carbink, and that's why it can't breed, because it's mutated. I understand, but at the same time... Also, Carbink doesn't get anything good other than Rock Polish. That's it. That is literally it. Rock Polish is the only thing this motherfucker gets. That's good. It's garbage. Get it out of here. Klefki's okay. Klefki's okay. Steel Fairy. It's surviving poison, it's surviving steel type moves. Basically, Klefki is just here for hacks. It burns, it paralysis, it puts to sleep, it freezes. That's what this thing's here for. And because of that, I'm putting it okay. That's the only reason it's going okay. If it wasn't good at giving hacks, it'd probably be in trash, not gonna lie. Xerneas is goated. Hands down, Xerneas is goated. Pure Fairy, hits like a goddamn truck. No shit, it's a box art legendary. It's just, it's crazy strong. What more do you want? It's one of the strongest fairy types in existence. What more could you want? Diancie is stupid good. Rock Fairy is just like Carbink, but it actually has moves. It actually has good stats. It can actually do stuff. It hits pretty damn hard. I love the design. It's really good. I really like this Pokemon. Mega Diancie is also stupid good. I really like this one's design. It's a crystal chandelier. It's gorgeous. Looks like it's wearing a dress. Hits like a goddamn truck. It's insane. I really like Mega Diancie. Cutie Fly, don't bother me. I'm gonna say meh. I'm gonna say it's meh. Cutiefly's met Bug Fairy. Its stats aren't quite there. Its move pool is kind of lacking in the good move department. But you don't really get Cutiefly for Cutiefly. You get Cutiefly for Rabombi. I think Rabombi's a sleeper agent for being stupid good. I think this thing has a lot of potential. Bug Fairy still super tiny, but hits insanely hard for it being as tiny as it is, dude. This thing hits hard. It gets Cotton Spore, gets access to Dazzling Gleam, gets access to Signal Beam, gets access. It's got a pretty good moveset for what it is. It's a good Pokemon. I really like it. I think it's a sleeper agent. I don't think this thing gets enough love. Comfy, I think is. I think it's okay. I think Comfy's okay. Again, Pure Fairy. It should have been Plant Fairy, just like Florges, but it is what it is. Pure Fairy still gets access to those grass type moves, but they're not stab. Even though this thing's literally, I forget what they're called. Sorry for not remembering the culture in Hawaii, but those flower necklaces that they put on you whenever you arrive, to say welcome. That's literally what it is. Why is it not grass type if it's literally flowers? I don't understand why Pokemon will make a literal flower and say, no, that's not a flower, that's a rock. No, make it dual typings exist, Pokemon. Make this thing grass type, please. Mimikyu is, I'm gonna say stupid good. Mimikyu's stupid good Pokemon. It's funny because Mimikyu literally made Splash viable. If Z Splash was a thing in Gen 7, if you didn't know, and it gave it, I think, +2 in attack. So you had Z Splash, you use the decoys, that way you can get it one boost up. If you really needed to, or you really just wanted to drive it home, you could put Sword Stance on this thing. Shadow Claw, get access to Play Rough, get access to Shadow Sneak. This thing's a monster, figuratively and literally. I really like Mimikyu. Tapu Koko, I'm gonna say is stupid good. Tapu Koko is stupid good. Electric Fairy, first Electric Fairy since Dedenne. It gets our only other Electric Fairy. Gets access to Discharge, gets access to Play Rough, gets access to, not Volt Tackle, but I think it gets access to Thunderclaw. Its Z move is pretty sick. It's legendary. What more do you want? Tapu Lele, stupid good. Psychic Fairy. Psychic Fairy is always such a really good typing combination. They usually hit hard, hit like a fucking truck. Gets access to Dazzling Gleam, gets access to Psychic, gets access to Calm Mind. Pretty sure it also gets access to Focus Blast. Just a monster overall. I don't know why for the Tapus, whenever they use their Z move, the body is still yellow like Tapu Koko. I feel like they should each have their own color. Maybe one day if we get Z moves back, then they'll fix that. But Tapu Lele, really good Pokemon. Tapu Bulu, Grass Fairy. I feel like I can't put it in just okay because it's a legendary and it does hit pretty hard. But this thing doesn't scream Grass Fairy. I understand that it doesn't have to just scream Grass type to be a Grass type. But I think this thing should be Fighting type. I think Psychic, Electric, Water, Fighting. I think that's what they should have been. But Blue's a Grass type. His ability's insane, but it makes the battles take for fucking ever. So, he's stupid good. I really like him. Finny is also stupid good. Water Fairy, super bulky. Hits pretty hard, but nobody really uses Finny. So, it's not, the ability for Finny isn't as useful as the others. It doesn't really hit as good as the others. It doesn't really work in double battles very well. But it's still legendary, so I'm gonna put in super good, and I really like Tapu Fini. Magearna is stupidly good. Steel Fairy. Fleur Cannon hits like a goddamn truck. Only 90% accuracy, but it's base 130, my G. A special fairy move that's base 130. Crafty Shield, it's base, I think 90 special attack. And its physical attack is abysmal. But it doesn't matter because its special attack is crazy high. Its defenses are crazy high. The only thing I don't like about Magearna is that it's a man-made Pokemon. I think the man-made Pokemon has been driven to the ground. This is really the point where I was just like, okay, it's no longer special. Mewtwo was special. He was the first man-made Pokemon. And they found out Magearna, who's like, oh, she's centuries years old. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Mewtwo's the first one. You said he was the first one. Shut the fuck up. All right, it has come to my attention that Hatchum and its evolution, they're pure psychic. They are not fairy type, so I'm not going to put them on this tier list. I literally was looking at them. I knew they were pure psychic. that their final evolution is Psychic Fairy. I don't know why they're on this list. I don't know. Whoever made this list, I get it. Simple mistake. I'm not going to count these. These are Psychic type. Hatterene. Stupid good. I really like Hatterene. Psychic Fairy. Second verse, same as the first. As all the other Psychic Fairies that I've said. Psychic Fairies hit insanely hard. Psychic Fairies are usually pretty bulky. Psychic Fairies usually know an array of incredibly strong special moves. Focus Blast, Dazzling Gleam, Calm Mind, Psychic. It's crazy. These things hit hard. I really like it. G-Max Hatterene is goated. G-Max Hatterene hits like a goddamn truck. It's insane. I think the lowest move, if you build it right, it's base power 130, doesn't miss. Crazy strong. Impid, Dark Fairy, I'm be real, is kind of meh. Dark Fairy, its stats aren't quite there, its move pool isn't all that, but you don't really get Impid for Impid. You get Impid for Grimmsnarl. Morgrem is okay. Morgrem's okay. Dark Fairy still. It's better than Impid. Design looks cooler. I forget what the move is called. The signature move where it acts like it's giving up, but then it like uses its hair/tail to stab you in the back. I really like that move. It's really cool. But you don't really get Morgrem from Morgrem. You get Morgrem from Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl is stupid good. Like, no contest. Grimmsnarl is stupid good. Dark Fairy hits like a truck. Super stupidly physical. Gets access to Crunch. Gets access to Play Rough. If you really wanted to, you could put Dark Pulse on this thing, but I don't know why you would want to. Hits stupid hard. I really like it. G-Max Grimmsnarl is also goated. I really like the design of this thing. I like how hard it hits. I love it. I love everything about G-Max Grimmsnarl. It is one of the greatest G-Max Pokemon of all time. Milcery. I'm gonna say it's meh. Milcery's meh. Pure Fairy. Not a lot to say about this Pokemon, really. Its stats aren't there. Its move pool isn't there. We don't get Milcery for Milcery. You get Milcery for its evolution. Alcremie. Again, with this one, I don't think the forms matter. I think it's just for appeal. So I'm going to put them in here in no particular order, especially since there's a lot of them. So I think Alcremie is okay. They can go in okay. And the reason I think they're okay, they're Pure Fairy. I don't think they do a whole lot on their own. Basically, if you get Alcremie, you're looking at possibly doing G-Max Alcremie because its stats are insane. So Alcremie can just go here. G-Max Alcremie is actually stupid good. Its stats are insane. It's gonna live just about anything you hit on it. I really like the super tall cake thing going on. How it's like a big ass wedding cake and it resembles all the other flavors that you can do for Alcremie. It hits hard. It's G-Max. They all hit hard. If they don't hit hard, then they just don't die. So I really like G-Max Alcremie. And finally have Zacian. I know they have different stats. I know the sword form is higher than the non-sword form. Let me get them up here. And I'm going to be completely transparent. They're both goated. They're both really cool Pokemon. But I like the design of the normal form better than the sword form. I'm a big proponent of less is more. So for that reason, I am putting them both in goated, but I'm putting the regular form in front of the sword form. And with that, that is our fairy type Pokemon tier list. And as always, this is the most accurate Pokemon tier list. All other tier lists are in fact wrong. If you want to see all my non-Pokemon content, be sure to check out my second channel, Notification. If you want to see me stream both Pokemon and non-Pokemon related content, be sure to check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SupenUp796. And if you want to check out my VODs, be sure to check out my VOD channel, Supen Up VODs. Basically, unless you're partnered, Twitch is not activity your VODs. So anytime I go live, I put the VOD from there and I put it on my VOD channel. If you want to check me do everything I feel like, be sure to check out my TikTok. And finally, if you want to hang out and talk to me and talk about videos that I've done or talk about E3 events or all that good shit, be sure to check out my Discord. We chat in there sometimes to talk about me. It's just a fun time. Everything I mentioned will be linked in the description down below. Anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, comment, just think of the video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Help the channel, helps here, helps me as a whole. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.
Take bars, little man.